Every week I get on the phone with 4 or 5 painting contractors, and they always say the same thing. Brandon, I've been watching your videos for years. I've watched hundreds of videos, and I just wanted to get on the phone with you so I can tell you about what's going on in my painting business. And I always ask them, this is Rocco, there's the dog, I always ask them why they took so long, and I get various answers. But today I just wanted to kind of do a video to show you where I work, where I live, just so you know something about me personally, because I don't do that very often. And to talk about winter in general, and then to talk about what I do on a diagnostic call in particular. So only the people that are really interested are going to watch this. So here we go. So this is my little office. When I built my house, I decided I needed a place to work because I work like a crazy person. I love my work. I love helping painting contractors. You know, it's funny. Sometimes you forget the passage of time. And I'm working with folks that are now running $3, $4, $5 million painting businesses. And I just completely forget that when I first started working with them, it was like them and 2 dudes. Or sometimes just them. And this is the hacienda that my wife and I built. I'm just going to walk through here with you, and then we're going to take a walk around the property. And it's not clean. We got house guests coming over, but we're just kind of just all over the place. But we're getting there. This is the library. And keep walking over here. We're about to get outside. The kitchen, we just made a big, huge meal, so it's a little bit untidy. Dining room, it's where we have our dinners. Family dinners. Hallway. Always wanted a shotgun hallway ever since the KA house. Spiral staircase. I don't know if you can see it or not. Good enough. Living room. So you've seen most of it. Formal living room. Living room that the kids can't go into. You may have seen that on some of the videos. But, so it's winter, right? Kids leave stuff down here. You gotta pick it up. It's winter, right? Winter is typically the time that painting contractors, business owners decide that they're going to, and this is just kind of give you an idea, old classic design. There's my wife coming down the driveway. See, I can't invite all of you over to the house, so I might as well just show you around the place. But nonetheless, it's wintertime, right? This is typically the time of year where painting contractors decide that they're going to fix something in their business. We got more people going down the road. It's my neighbor's car. We have a shared driveway. Us and one other person. What we're walking on here is a 1/4 mile track through the woods that I cut because I like to be out in the woods. So we're just going to go for a little walk. It's winter, right? This is just a ramble, okay? So typically, you get so busy during the spring and the summer that if you're not making any money, you don't even care. You're too busy to worry about the fact that you're not making money because you got too many jobs to do. We've got a limited season. Well, then winter comes around and you're like, all right, I don't know how much money I made last year, or I didn't make as much money as I wanted to. I need to scale, but I don't know how. I'm stuck doing work with general contractors. I hate it. I feel like I've been doing this for 10, 15, 5 years. I'm nowhere near where I wanted to be, and I'm just working myself to death. And so you're like, I'm going to see if this little dude can help me. So I'm going to get on the phone with him. Well, I sure am curious as to what in the world he's going to do. Well, I'm just going to tell you in this video. How about that? So here's what I do on my diagnostic calls. If you want to set one up. I mean, a lot of you, It just baffles me. Why in the world would you watch 100 hours of videos but not like call the guy that could help you? But you got your own reasons, right? And whatever you want to do. So here's what happens on the diagnostic call. So we get on the phone. And the first thing I'm going to do is get a little bit of information about how you got started in the painting industry. I don't need your life story, okay? Because it's usually irrelevant. But I'd like to know a little bit about how people got started in business. And then from there, what I do is we start looking at the macro metrics. How much money you made, what your sales were. We get into operations, gross profits, hourly charge rates. Do you use production rates? Do you have job costing? Is it dialed in? How do you empower and train your crew leaders to come in on budget, make clients happy, and follow simple procedures? I'm going to want to know how you schedule and manage projects. How do you incentivize your guys to come in on budget? How do you conduct crew meetings? Things of that nature. Just like, how do you run your business to make sure that it's profitable in the field? Because if you don't make money on the jobs, everything else is relevant. I know everybody gets all excited about marketing and sales and things that are sexy, in particular digital marketing, etc. But the truth is, you can do all the work in the world, but if you're not making any money, what does it matter? It doesn't. And from there, we go into marketing. In particular, client reactivation and retention. It's important, right? That second transaction is 60% larger than the first. Close rates are higher. Acquisition is lower. Your leads and your marketing, it needs to be intentional, and you need to have a purpose, and you need to have a plan. It can't just be, I just need leads. That's a fool's errand. The market is the first thing you look at, not the message, not the medium, etc. So we look at reactivation and retention because typically, between operations and marketing alone, people are just sitting on this gold mine, and a handful of simple systems will fix everything. The next thing we look at is the persuasive elements of your sales process, in addition to your ability to accurately predict how much labor, material is going to go into a job. A lot of people just guess. A lot of people use square foot pricing or linear foot pricing. It just does not work. When you're charging your clients, write this down, when you're charging your clients by the square foot or linear foot, that you're paying your painters by the hour, it's like trying to go to Walmart and use yen or rubles. Like, they don't take it. And things get lost in translation. So we look at your sales process. Is it persuasive? What's your close rate? What's your average sale transaction? What's your average transaction lost? Then we're going to look at, is there pre-positioning? Is there good presenting? Is there post-positioning? What's the follow-up sequence like? Are you using enough mediums and methods? Does your follow-up process align with the sales cycle? Improvements in your sales process alone can make you tons of money, can save you tons of time. And in particular in the winter, which we're not there yet, but you can see some of these leaves. You can't really see here. Some of these leaves are actually starting to turn and fall out. I know, because I have to blow them off the property all the time, living in a bowl of trees like this. So we go through sales, right? Then we're going to move on to operational marketing. Are you doing everything when you've got a job to make sure you get another one? Simple, easy, cheap stuff. If you don't pick the low-hanging fruit, you're not going to pick the other stuff. Then we get into net new marketing. Do you have B2B referrals? Are you engaged with other tradespeople, interior decorators, realtors? Are you using a newsletter consistently to keep repeats and referrals up? Do you do any commercial prospecting? And if so, what's it look like and how? Then we're going to look at, if you're inclined to do so, and I'll make a recommendation to John, is your website generating leads? No, you're not happy, don't have a website, website's not performing, maybe get in touch with John. I don't mess with that stuff, but I can point you to John, works for me, does nothing but build painting websites, right? If we have time, and if you're in an area where I can help you, I'll also send you a paint price survey so we can see how your paint prices compare. Are you overpaying? And most people are by about 35 to 45%. And then at the end of the call, I just kind of talk to you about what I see in your business. Where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are. There's Rocco. Where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, how you can improve. And usually it's all low-hanging fruit stuff. It's like, just put these basic systems in place. They don't have to be complicated. And I'll help you fix your problems. And I'll talk to you on the phone. I won't pawn you off on some underling. I want to solve your problems myself to the degree that I can. Not that I don't employ people, not that people don't help me, they do. When it comes to assessing the problems in a business, you're going to talk to Brandon Lewis if you want to, right? What else? At the end of the call, I'll let you answer. I'll let you ask any questions that you want to. And then you get to make a decision on what you want to do. And I'll tell you everything I know about our program, how we combine toolkits, modules, and training that can be done at a distance with one-on-one mentoring with me, group mentoring, ongoing education, live events. That's how we create these transformations that you read and hear about. It's just a combination of good, darn, done-for-you business systems and course training, somebody who really can encourage you to implement, and then after a while you surround yourself also with other APPC members, and they'll tan that butt. If you're doing something that's costing you a bunch of money, or if you're walking past opportunities in a way that I can't, right? You know, everybody's always doubtful of anybody who's a talking head about a specific object, which would be me, right? I'm just there to get your money and take advantage of you, and you've been painting for 40 years, and all the excuses that people say, my market's bad, you can't find help, just do a good job, everything will turn out okay. Well, it won't. And it doesn't. I think I've done, as I've said before, about 2,500, 2,600 assessments at this point. And the thing that really bothers me the most, probably, is the fact that there's all kinds of money to be made. Rocco's hearing a squirrel or something. There's all kinds of money to be made in this industry. And the only reason people are poor or make a third or a quarter as much as they could or can't sell their painting business is just simply because they never took a time in their life and get serious about the painting business end. What I refer to as the business end of the painting business. I know most people go from being a painter to a crew leader to an owner. And they want to abandon, neglect, give short thrift to all the business functions and just focus on the work. Get the work done, make the client happy, everything's going to be okay. The skills that you need as a painter and a crew leader versus an owner are completely different. And you can run a painting business with no painting skills. I did it. You cannot run a painting business well with no business skills. You can't look around the paint store. Look at the cars, look at the vans, look at the income. It's not the best. But it could be. And so I would just say to you, if you're one of my stalwart followers, like you watch me every time a video comes out, and you have gotten some value from everything that I've taught over almost a decade, but for whatever reason, you're just like, I ain't going to call this little guy. Maybe you're embarrassed or worried that if somebody looks at your business, it's real personal and you're going to feel bad about yourself. I don't do it that way. I just tell you exactly what you need to know. It's just like going to a doctor visit with a guy that's got a pretty decent bedside manner. I am very direct. I do want you to answer the questions quickly. We cover a lot of ground in 60 minutes. I don't do a lot of chit-chat personal stuff. This is probably the most personal chit-chat video I've ever done. So I'm strictly business because I only have so much time, and my job is to fix your business problem so that you can make more money. That's my job. And if I can help you do that, I want to do that. Now, if you catch me out at a painting event, and if I'm not hosting it myself and working the room, because you got to, because you only see people once a year, I'll BS, and I hardly ever even talk about painting stuff. But if you call me and we get on the phone, we're going to cover a lot of stuff. It's not a sales pitch. I need to know what's wrong. And that's about it. And then at the end of the call, you just decide if you want to do something or not. No harm, no foul. So, I recorded this video exclusively and only for those of you who have watched dozens of videos, some of you hundreds of videos, some of you for a year or two, some of you for almost a decade now. And it breaks my heart in closing when I get on the phone with somebody that's been watching me for 7, 8 years. And they feel like because they hear what I tell them that somehow they have done something or that something has changed. And then one day they get fed up, something happens, they call me, we start working on their business. And then their income goes from 2x, 3x, 5x, 10x. And that's not a BS metric. You know, we do the Academy Awards every year at the Painting Profit Summit. This is reality. And their stress level goes down a half, a third, a quarter, a fifth. Their self-esteem goes through the roof. Their life changes. And they always say this to me. I just feel stupid that I didn't start this earlier. And a lot of times it's people getting ready to go into retirement. They spent 15, 20, 30 years just kind of going through the motions. So if that's you, I'd be happy to help you. I know there's 3 of you that have made it all the way to the end here. But you're the 3 I'm talking to, so that's all that matters. Email me, Brandon@PaintersAcademy.com. Let's get on the phone. Brandon@PaintersAcademy.com. May take me a week or 2 to get to you. Be patient, but we will get on the phone. I hope you've enjoyed this little tour of Lewis Manor. Getting to see a little bit of where the hillbilly lives and works most of the time when I'm not in my office downtown. But I love you guys. The painting industry's been good to me. Painting contractors have been good to me. And if I can be good to you by helping you improve your painting business, I'd certainly love to. Thanks for letting me ramble, unscripted and unprofessional. I appreciate it. Take care, guys.